She could smell only two individuals besides herself and the yummy-smelling wolf, another male and a female, both of whom were also unfamiliar wolf shifters. At least she could be sure that she wasn't in the grasp of that dick alpha, Roscoe, who didn't give a crap that she didn't want to be claimed by him. For that matter, her father didn't give a crap either. He was too busy trying to build an alliance with the other pack, and if that meant using his daughter to get it, he happily would. She wished she could say that it was just because he was so desperate for an alliance. But no, her dad already had plenty of alliances with other packs. He simply didn't have time for his only child because, as a latent, she was a blow to his pride, an aberration in his bloodline. He hated her because, as he had seen to her conception, she was his weakness. She put his greatness into question for the rest of the pack, or so he thought. He certainly wouldn't bother putting her photo on a milk carton if she never got home from wherever the hell she was. Spotting a set of beige curtains, she flicked the bed cover aside and rose from the bed. Dizziness momentarily rushed over her and she swayed. Jesus, what was with her? Staggering to the curtains with sluggish, ungraceful movements, she parted them to reveal a bay window, a window that was unfortunately locked. Rather than morning, it was more like late afternoon. Did that mean she hadn't spent the night here and had been here only a few hours? Or did it mean she had just had one hell of a sleep? Her eyebrows almost hit her hairline as she took in the view. Most packs had a massive luxury lodge surrounded by a number of cabins. Some even had lodges situated on cliffs, but this place wasn't on a cliff. It was the cliff. With the arched, lighted balconies and the smooth stairways leading to different levels, it was like those ancient cave dwellings meet the town of Bedrock. What the fuck? Below was grass. Grass. More grass. A huge forest. So from what she could tell, she was in some kind of huge cave system in the middle of no man's land. She had heard of caves being hollowed out and turned into homes or even hotels, but never had she expected they could be made to have such a warm, contemporary look. Something told her she was still in California somewhere, but she had a feeling the cab ride home was going to be expensive. Good thing her kidnapper was wealthy, especially since there didn't seem to be any sign of her purse anywhere. If this was all a joke, she so didn't get it. Smoothing out the bane of her existence that couldn't seem to decide what shade of blonde it wanted to be, she headed for the door on shaky legs. She might have been cautious if she wasn't so annoyed, woozy, and confused. Besides, she figured that if these wolves intended to hurt her, they would have done so already, and they definitely wouldn't have left her to sleep on such a comfy bed in an extravagant room. She tugged on the door handle, but, to her horror and frustration, the door was locked. Locked? Hey! She called out as she knocked loudly. No response. Hello! Still nothing. So, to sum up, she was in a strange place around strange shifters and she was being confined? Well, now her wolf was pissed. Being cooped up was enough to infuriate and agitate any shifter. Hello? This is your captive speaking. Open the freaking door! A chuckle preceded the turning of a key, and then the door slowly swung open. Taryn found herself face to face, well, face to chest, with what could only be described as a living, breathing mountain. Another wolf. She arched a brow at his cocky, devilish smirk, wondering what could possibly be so amusing. You're awake. Good. And just which dwarf might you be? No, it wasn't a good time to make jokes, but she was a sarcastic bitch, and when she was pissed off, the sarcasm took on a life of its own. His smirk widened. The alpha wants to speak to you. And your alpha is... He winked. Follow me. Rolling her eyes at his cocky swagger, Taryn followed him through a tunnel that took them deeper into the mountain. Seeing the occasional turnoff, she realized that it was actually a network of tunnels, like some kind of giant ant colony. Just like in the bedroom, the light cream walls were so smooth they actually looked soft. Her wolf was